This is Lockie Hume, and you're listening to The Crowject.
Walker needs to kick accurately, and he has. Oh, what a lifter for the
excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal.
Oh, don't tell me.
He's a superstar.
Don't tell me. Oh!
Bounces straight up, leaves the path of on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of the Crowject podcast. Just want to give a shout out to our sponsors off the top, as always, in Payne Med SA and Trojan Aluminium. Now, unfortunately, half of us can't be here tonight. That includes the Queen, Pilot Pete and Damon, but the rest of us are here. Benny, Matt, welcome back.
Good evening, how you going?
I'm good, thank you. And Lleyton, good to see you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And just before we get too far into it, congratulations on winning the MVP for whatever division you're in.
Thank you very much.
After about 100 hamstring injuries.
I got lucky.
Yeah.
I literally limped over the line. But no, that was for all Crom supporters everywhere.
Yes.
Now let's jump into our Patreon appreciation. Thank you to all of those that continue to support us. You can support us by going to patreon.com/Crowject if you haven't already. You can donate $1, $2, $5, whatever. You get a whole bunch of stuff, including which shows, Lleyton?
You get access to Get Your Crow On. So this Friday we've got a new one coming out with Nick Boyce, talking about all his favourite Crom merch and South Adelaide gear.
Massive South Adelaide man, and we will touch on them later because they have a game this weekend.
Yes.
And you do also get some merchandise. Ben, what do you get?
Absolutely, get yourself a lanyard, a bottle opener and a key ring and some stickers, the whole array of things.
Beautiful. As for a merch update, Garden Stakes tops are still selling and selling well. If you want to get your hands on those,
Yep, Ben's modelling them at the moment.
Yep. You can go to our Big Cartel shop. Yep. And we have been seeing more Crom gear in the wild. AFL Tasmania posted up a lovely photo of a lady and her dog. The lady was in the Crom beanie. So they are all over the place. Yeah, if you want to get hold of those, there's plenty of stuff on there. You can go to Redbubble and get a hoodie, Go Crom hoodie. And we do have one of those to give away.
We do actually have a new review, don't we?
I think we have two.
We've got like 3.
Oh.
Since last week where we had none, we've now got 3.
Well, we want 3 more. The more people to choose from, the better. And as for those Garden Stake tops, we will be wearing them to do the City to Bay. It has been pushed back to the 7th of November. And we will be doing that with who, Ben?
The Press Box podcast.
Yes.
And we'll be raising funds for Childhood Cancer Foundation.
I dare say it'll be a somber mood on that podcast later this week.
Well, if any of us have anything to do with it, I think
there
it'll
might be
all
a
right.
few of us lifting the spirits, I reckon. But
Yeah.
Love it. And last but not least, before we jump into the news, I will read out those Patreon supporters, as
There we
always.
go. Have we got the readout music ready?
What are we doing? Beryl and Cecil music?
Are you
Depends on your pace, I reckon.
calling our Patreons?
Live read music? Oh, there's so much to choose from.
live read music.
Live read music.
Our patrons are not Beryls and Cecil.
They definitely aren't.
That's an insult.
Beryls and Cecils don't listen to this podcast. That's why we have a whole segment about them. Whoop. And as I said that, I pressed it. Cameron Scharenberg, Ethan Phillis, Matt Quist, Ben Pirro, Brad M, Sophie Damon, Drew Corner, Chris, Jade Hickey, Samuel Curtis, arguably AFL, Callum Ryan, Amelia, Frank Milanese, Sharon Cameron, Maddie Irwin, Giggity Gov, Ethan Thomas, Christy Banish, Harry Nelly, Martin Head, Kim Ryder, Aaron Shearer, Dan Yench, Brendan McGarrigan, James Payne, Caitlin Stevens, Crow Tricolours, Chris Daniel, Sarah James, Adam Cirillo, Joel Katina, Zem Ronaldo, Martin Adams, Tom Schultz, Michael Bornholm, Nathan Prime, Caroline Scomar, Lockie Glasbrook, Andy Munro, Peter Beveridge, Shaheen Marty.
good.
You're very good.
Simone McDonnell, Aidan Gain, Jezza Withers, Lockie Dand, Wellin, Mitchell Lord, Nathan Williams, Jason McKay, Pete Nash, and Matt O'Brien.
Oh, well done.
How well timed was that?
Perfectly timed with the music.
Tell you what, I fucking smashed that. And also, while we're talking about it, I think it's Lockie Dan's birthday today. It is.
I think so,
It
yeah.
is Lockie Dan's birthday today, one of our Patreon supporters. So he's been there from pretty much the get-go. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you're having a good one. All right, let's get into the news. Jake Kelly is fucking out of here.
He's gone.
He's gone. After the last 3 years of maybe going to Collingwood because of his dad, and will he stay, will he go? Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, I start to like him, and then he decides to leave. I spend all this time hating on him. He cost me a multi, all this stuff, and now he goes.
Missed a safe play down the line.
Yeah, that's the only thing I remember from him.
Yep.
The 50-metre kicks down the line.
Yes.
They go very high.
Kick it to a pack. I mean, can't really blame you. Can't really blame you if you kick it to 10 blokes and we don't mark it.
Yeah.
There are enough blokes around it. Thoughts on going to Essendon? I know that people talked about Daniel Talia being a good pickup for them if he was to move to Essendon, but what do you think Jake Kelly will do at Essendon? Where does he fit?
Oh, I'm surprised. Hasn't he nominated to go to Essendon, or is the deal done?
Oh, they've pretty much said 2 hours after he left that he's going to be heading to Essendon.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's gone there because I don't think they have a desperate need for that type of player at Essendon, but
they do have a lot of decent defenders.
Just chuck another one in there.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Ridley's a gun.
Yeah.
He's an absolute jet.
Yeah.
Mason Redmond's good.
Heppel.
Yeah, they played Heppel down there. They took Aaron Francis out of there and tried to move him forward late this year. But I think Stewart's been playing down there, Laverty. So what do we think he will play on? Like locking down a small?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably that medium size still. Medium to big. He might be that third sort of intercept role, maybe.
See, he can't be an intercept player because to intercept, you normally attack off the back of that.
No, that's true.
No just take an intercept mark.
Yeah, no point in it.
Take 30 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. And bomb it long.
Yeah, takes an intercept mark and then chips it 15 metres backwards.
Holds it.
Yeah.
So given the great player he is, what do you think we'll get back for him? Because he's a free agent, isn't he?
Yes.
So possible compo pick.
Best case scenario,
Third round pick, maybe.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
bad.
yeah.
We'll take it.
Well, considering he was a rookie listed pick up to start with.
True.
Yeah.
Anything's a win.
Can't lose. All right. In other news, we do have someone that wants to come to Adelaide. Not necessarily us, but Adelaide in general. Port Adelaide tipped to be in the box seat. Make of that what you will. But Jordan Dawson, who there was talk about ever since the middle of the year.
Yeah.
He's requested a trade back to South Australia. What are our thoughts? Do we think we can potentially get him?
I think we've got a fair chance. I think we've got enough room in the salary cap to offer him more money than Port.
Definitely do.
And yeah, I'm surprised that he's asked to come back to SA because I don't know what Sydney will do to try and keep him.
Yeah.
At this point. Because he's an important player over the last few years.
Yeah. A lot of it would have been a squeeze out from Luke Parker's big deal. That he signed. Was it last week that he signed that? And that probably forces, Hewitt, Dawson, probably Dylan Stevens.
They've spoken about Hewitt potentially going to Carlton. Parker obviously signs a 4-year deal.
Yep.
I believe. It just depends on how far apart their valuations were. But it doesn't help Sydney that this year was certainly a breakout year for him and he's still only, 25, 26?
Yeah. Finished third in their BNF, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Third, did he? Jeez.
Yep.
So he's coming into
We'll take him.
Yeah, he's coming into the prime of his career.
Yeah. So what do you think he's worth then? What should we offer Sydney? Second rounder?
this is why I think Port are in the box seat because they've got pick 16 and that seems like around the mark for...
Nah.
If you're going to pay up for him, that's a fair bit.
I wouldn't be paying pick 16. It's hard because I said that if we were going to go after Dylan Stevens, we would give Sydney pick 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if we give them pick 23, and even if they accept
For Dawson.
even if
it's not going to be there. It's a given.
even if they accepted pick 23 for Stevens, then they're not going to accept anything less than that for Dawson.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But when you think about it, Port have enough players like him. If you don't know, he's a penetrating long kick. He has speed. And I just think of Port and I think of the fact that apart from the fact all these guys were on the bus till half-time on the weekend, people like Amon, Dersma, Houston, they've got a lot of players with that kind of speed and that kind of player, whereas I could see Dawson perfectly filling a David McKay role.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, if you listen to the Port supporters over the weekend, I don't think there'll be any
They
players
weren't very
left.
chirpy. I didn't really hear them much, to be honest.
No. And what we did hear out of them, we will be reading later on. So
Oh, yes.
please stay tuned. Apart from that, not too much in the land of the male Crows, but there has been news in the form of AFLW.
Yes.
Former player Courtney Cramey is returning to the club as an assistant coach for the upcoming season.
Yeah, good to see.
So best of luck to her. AFLW pre-season is kicking off on Wednesday the 29th of September, so that's just around the corner.
Yeah.
However, they're not starting the season until when?
January,
Yeah,
I think
January.
early January.
Yep.
Yeah. So long run in, but
Yeah. Fair old prep.
Yep. And also former Brisbane and Gold Coast captain Leah Kasler is going to join as a development coach and a player in the state league. So
Oh, okay. Linked to any particular team or just the state team? Or
I don't know.
they're just coming here.
Yeah. She's just coming in.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the girls who were drafted have been, their Guernsey numbers have been announced.
Oh, the most important part.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Zoe Prowse from Sturt is going to wear number 4. Abby Ballard, I think from West Adelaide, don't shoot me if that's wrong, is going to wear 27. And Brooke Tonin
The
from...
project favourite.
Yes.
Up the base.
Up the base.
Up the base from Glenelg is going to wear 28. And if you are a Patreon contributor, you can listen to that interview from Damon and myself with her.
Yeah. So she's wearing the 28, the former Tex-like player.
Yes.
Good number.
Yep. And apart from that, I think that's all the news.
No bad news coming out of the Crows.
No.
Miller are back on the track, I saw today.
Oh, he's running.
Back up and
Photos of
running.
him running. Yep.
Photos. Are you sure he's running? It's just a photo.
He was mid-air. He was levitating. So,
It's likely he was running.
yeah.
Yeah.
One can only assume. But that's Christmas come early. Fingers crossed we get to see him running all year next year.
Sounds good to me.
Let's jump into the prelim finals. Fuck it.
Oh, what a weekend.
We'll start with Friday night. You boys can start ripping this one apart. What was the result?
Well, speaking of ripping apart,
Yes.
Melbourne ripped apart Geelong. The final score 19-11, 125 to 6-6-42. Max Gawn just running an absolute muck.
Yeah, who would have picked him to kick 5 goals in a game?
Sportsbet would have been quite high odds for that, I tell you what.
It wasn't even on the app.
No,
You
let
couldn't
alone
even pick
4 1/4.
Oh, I know. Great to watch.
I think we all tipped this. Not.
Yeah, we tipped Melbourne, but not
Yeah,
by this
not
much.
this
To an
much.
extent, yeah.
I think we all. You and I tipped
40
5
plus.
goals. Yeah,
Yeah.
30 to 40 points. But yeah, just I take back everything I said about Melbourne not being able to kick goals. I take back everything.
I can see where they're going to get them from now.
Yeah, that's a good cream is cool.
Yep. And although Geelong was just clear as day, they can't kick goals.
No.
And Melbourne's defence without Stephen May for the majority of the game was just unreal.
Yeah, definitely. I was really surprised that on how well Melbourne convincingly beat Geelong in the midfield. There was no, even though there was great names on paper for Geelong, they just couldn't get the job done.
Yeah. They just couldn't get the game going the whole time. It was, and you could tell sort of 10 minutes in, it was just done.
Yeah.
It was a byproduct of Melbourne's defensive setup. You can see why they had so many All-Australians. They're just the way they set up behind the ball. It's completely different to Port Adelaide, for example, where you've got Alir and the aim of the game is just to kick it away from him.
Yep.
Melbourne just set up so well. It's essentially a carbon copy of the Richmond setup. They've got a very good fullback.
Yeah. And it's not
Lever
necessarily...
is playing Rance's role.
Yeah. Even though Lever takes a lot of intercept marks, it could be any of the back six that peels off a player and either spoils it or takes a mark.
Yeah. Harry Petty playing on Tom Hawkins.
Oh, yeah.
Weird
Weird matchup.
but just kept him to nothing.
Yeah. Cameron only kicked, did he kick 1 or 2?
I'm not sure. I think he might have kicked 2.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
real
Cameron
late jump
kicked
on
2.
one, yeah.
Hawkins 1.
Yep.
Myers won, Smith won, Stanley won. That's all. They only kicked 6 goals. So
That was the most pathetic performance from Gary Rowan, and rightly so. He's getting smashed from pillar to post.
yeah.
Like,
But what about Geelong in general? Over the last decade, they've made like 5 prelims, I think, and 1 grand final, but they haven't won anything.
Yeah, well, think back to those prelims as well. We belted them in the one where we played them in 2017. They've also been smashed this
Good
week.
memories.
It's just, yeah. And then who else did they play? They had,
Probably Hawthorn in there.
I think they had one against Hawthorn.
Yeah.
They just come so far and done not much. Similar to their week 1 finals record, really.
yeah, and then the GWS win really like paints over the cracks
It did, yeah.
Yep.
because GWS did not have a forward line, losing Hogan, losing Green.
They had 8 players of their best 22 missing last week.
Yeah.
And we tipped GWS were going to turn up to this game.
I'm telling you.
They didn't get the ladders out.
Yeah,
No.
no. I was waiting for a sledgehammer or a plastic chair, just
Could have
something.
been in the change rooms, maybe, and that's why they were so poor.
Yeah, that's true.
Waiting in the lockers.
Maybe they beat the shit out of them before the first bounce.
Yeah.
And Chris Scott tried to cover it up by saying, oh, no, they actually had the flu.
Oh,
6
yeah.
or 7
Yeah.
players
Yeah.
2 days before the game. It's like, well, no, they've just been smacked around the head for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's funny. He says that straight after the game. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is why we lost. Yeah, 5 players were sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
they really shouldn't have played, but
Yeah,
But they did.
played them anyway."
Yeah.
Like a press conference, I listened to both of them.
Oh,
And
God.
it really annoyed me, the fact that he had to, like, he got on the microphone. He goes, okay, before anyone asks any questions, I've got a few things to say. And he went on for about 2 or 3 minutes,
Yeah, I saw this.
just trying to leave them nothing to really pick at him about. It's like, mate, you've just been belted by fucking 14 goals. We'll ask you whatever we want to ask you.
And what was he
Face the
saying?
music.
Like, just giving heaps of excuses, saying, "Oh, it's been a really tough couple of years."
Yeah.
just
Yeah, we were really depleted even before the final series, and we were out of energy and whatever. It's like, mate,
we know you're old.
yeah, you want to talk about a reason to be out of energy? We'll get to the Bulldogs later and the performance that they put up, despite being flown all over the fucking country
Exactly.
in the last 10 days. All right.
So that was Friday night.
Yes, we still got plenty. Statistic breakdown.
Yeah, so Gawn pretty much best on ground, surely.
By a country mile.
So he had 5 goals straight, 19 touches, and 33 hitouts, and 6 tackles. A couple good chase down tackles by him as well.
And that's one of the things that Goodwin singled out after the game.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like to be 10 goals up or whatever they were and just still putting in that effort.
Yeah, no mercy at all.
Yeah, nothing. Foot on the throat and just, bury him. But in terms of the glaring statistics that stood out,
Petraka running amok again.
yep.
32 touches and a goal.
Viney with 119 fantasy points.
Beautiful. Efficiency inside 50. Melbourne had 31 shots from 55 inside 50s at 56%.
What's that? A score every, like,
Yeah.
1.5 of an entry, basically.
And Geelong had 11 shots from 42 inside 50s going at 26%.
Ooh.
You're never going to win games.
No.
If you're only
Even
scoring
if
1
you-
in every 4 inside 50s
Even
and
if
you
you
are
have 100 inside 50s, you only score what?
25 times,
Yeah.
and especially when you're kicking 6 goals 6, not going to cut it. Clearances, Geelong actually won, but as we've seen this year, clearances don't really mean shit.
No, it's more like centre clearances are very important,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
necessarily just random clearances that they turn over straight away.
Melbourne beat them in contested possession by 30.
30?
Yeah.
Jeez, that sounds familiar to another game we'll talk about.
Yep. And Geelong had 16 more turnovers.
That's a good effort. Well done, Danger.
Yep. 16 to 5 marks inside 50. 13 to 8 contested marks. Yeah, just
So to put it simply, they got belted.
absolutely smashed.
Domination.
And not to mention, Geelong used all 75 rotations and Melbourne only used 67 of their 75, so they still had moves to make. Running on top of the ground.
Do you think that's probably partly because they kept all the great players on the bench for the last 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Which was a smart move because
I'd
it was a dead
assume so.
game at that point. But
yeah.
Yeah.
When you can afford to just leave all the people out there and just tell them, oh, look, just do what you can.
We've got it, boys.
Yeah. Yep. And we will touch later on a certain former AFL player who wants to start a petition to get some certain someone over for grand final day to present a cup.
Oh, no. I have not seen this. But
You'll hear about it.
I don't really want to know.
Now, are Geelong too old?
Yes. They were too old a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Yep.
Will Dangerfield win a flag before he's done now?
How old is he now?
32.
32.
32? No,
Yeah,
he's 30, surely.
I think he's 32.
Yeah,
can't be
he did
32.
play like 7 or 8 years at the Crows, though. In 08.
I don't know.
He
I don't know. Check his birth
is
certificate.
Born in
Get it out.
1990. Turns 32 on the 5th of April next year.
Fuck. Yeah, okay.
Jeez.
I don't think so.
No. Not a chance. I think now's where they fall off the cliff.
Well, that's what everyone keeps saying, but they haven't done it really the last couple of years. And I think Selwood said after the game how proud he was about, I'm never got to bottom out, never going to give up. But where does that leave you?
Joel,
That
you're
leaves you-
34 next year. You can't keep holding it up for much longer.
Yeah.
And the other thing is now Geelong do not have a first-round pick in the upcoming draft. They gave it to Richmond in 2020. So
Nice
they've-
work.
Yeah,
well done.
they've got picks 30, 32 and 34 in the second round
You'd want to hope they get something good.
and then pick 52.
God.
So it does not look good. They pretty much, let's be honest, they put all their eggs in this year's basket.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
now they've got egg on their face.
Yep. Very similar to Hawthorn a few years ago when they sort of, they sort of made the harder calls a
Yep.
little earlier on than what this is, but it's just going down a similar path.
Yeah.
And Asava Radaglia is not good. Fuck, I can't stand that bloke. He's an average footballer at best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been able to step up in the big games. So.
No.
He had a whole 5 touches,
Well,
Oh,
fucking hell.
5.
Count them on one hand.
Watch
It's
out.
not good.
3 turnovers. But
Oh, Jesus Christ. All
So
right,
overall, it's good to see Melbourne win. They make the grand final.
yes.
Hopefully break the drought. I don't know who you guys are going for, but I'm going for
Dunno.
Melbourne.
I tipped the Bulldogs a couple of weeks
Oh,
ago.
you're just trying
3
to
weeks
ride
ago,
that.
saying by 10 points. So
Yeah.
I said Bulldogs and Melbourne, Bulldogs by 10 points. But I would like to see Melbourne win it.
yeah.
And let's be honest, that'll be the fairy tale story. And even Luke Beveridge came out and said that after his game, that he knows there'll be
Yeah.
the villains or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, good to see Goody doing well, but I don't know where this sees Brad Scott now. Surely.
Chris Scott?
Chris Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, one of the Scotts. I don't
One
know.
of them.
Well, that's all right. They were talking about
They're twins, they
Brad
look the
Scott coming
same.
back to coach Carlton, so that could be.
Oh, really?
Could have him back. Yeah. Maybe they could form a twin coaching.
Maybe they'll
job at
kick
Carlton.
Chris out and put Brad at
I
Geelong.
think that's what
Swapsies.
they've been doing, but just for the final series.
Yes.
And they play like North Melbourne used to.
Yes. All right. Speaking of Luke Beveridge and his game, in what is the best news we have watched
Oh,
in a long time.
Just a great weekend overall. If you
Sorry, that needed an extended
The crowd
round
was
of
up and
applause.
about, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're still there. Most of the Port fans left at half
Yes.
time.
All the Port supporters I know have did leave before half time.
Yeah. Even Elodie?
Did she even go to the game?
Don't know.
Probably not.
She was probably crying into her Miles Bergman Guernsey by quarter time. But Western Bulldogs, as the advertiser called them,
Jeez.
17 goals, 14, 116. Put out the power, 6 goals, 9, 45.
Oh, great to see. From the first bounce, I don't think they scored till like very late in the first quarter.
It was 5 goals, 1-0
Yep.
at
Then
one point.
Bleekham and I.
Like, there's nothing worse than, well, as a supporter, when I went over and watched Collingwood play Richmond in the 2018 prelim
Yeah.
before we got nutted by Dom Sheed. Fuck you, Dom Sheed. Watching that game and watching Mason Cox tear it apart, knowing you've won the game before halftime, there is nothing better.
Great feeling.
But at the same time, if you were a Crows supporter and you, which we are, and you were playing in a prelim, would you rather get belted off the park early,
Nah, God
or
no.
be in it till halfway through the last quarter and end up losing by 2 goals?
It's a good question because you almost, if you lose by a little bit, you almost
Yeah.
think, oh, well, we're only a couple goals away from a grand final.
Yeah.
But that could change the mindset. If you lose by this much, you'd be like, no, we still got a long way to go for next year. So I
The
don't know.
ladder of, losing by a couple of points hurts more like we had in 2012. But
Yes.
the embarrassment of getting blown out
Yes.
by 70-plus points in a prelim,
This has
in a
got to
home
be
prelim.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the worst losses Port's had.
I did see
Yeah.
that they're the 4th team in history to lose consecutive prelims at home.
And the first
Really?
since the
Yes.
1997-98 Bulldogs.
Oh. Well, they didn't lose this one, did they?
No, they just,
Did a favour for us.
yeah.
So this game was clearly over by halftime. I believe it was a 58-point margin at the
Yeah.
main break.
Yep.
Before anything else, does Ken Hinckley lose his job?
Well, they had
I don't know.
Koshy
Everyone's
came
going
out
to keep
today.
talking about it.
I don't think they'll get rid of him
no.
just for the fact that he made a prelim. But
Yeah.
after being as close as they were last year to just capitulating like they did on the weekend, it's, let's be honest, if they had a half difficult draw, they would have been found out and they would have finished below the top 4 to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, Koshy came out today and he said he's labelled the performance as soft and embarrassing, but he says that Ken Hinckley is still the man to take the power to the next grand final.
That's what we like to hear.
Yes, sign him up for 10 years.
Yeah, 10 more years, please. That's, music to our ears.
If you talk to Port Adelaide supporters, and this has now become...
Why are you doing that?
And this has now become the Portject, because let's be honest, there's fuck all to talk about the Crows from here on in. If you talk to the Port supporters, then they're going to be saying that they think Ken Hinckley is exactly the same as Neil Craig was. Sorry, excuse me.
Ooh.
No plan B. From the
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Great point. It seemed exactly like that because Bulldogs came out and didn't kick it to Aaliyah.
You got 2 options. You can either kick it to him
Yeah.
or not kick it to him.
And Ken sitting in the coach's box, oh shit, they're not kicking it.
Oh,
John.
no.
What do we do?
What do we do?
The whole game plan's
Tank.
ruined. But I mean, you want to
Yeah.
talk about too slow and too old. Their midfield just looked way too slow to start the game.
Yeah.
And after about 10 minutes, when they're kicking 3 goals in 5 minutes, surely you put pace in there
You got to do something.
or you mix something up. And it
Well,
wasn't.
how about the tagger on Libba doesn't even come on and tag him till halfway through the first quarter?
Willem Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you,
Great move.
And history would suggest, obviously, Port beat the Bulldogs by a couple points in Melbourne going back a month ago or so. But when they met here earlier in the year and Bulldogs beat them here by 3 goals, I think Libba had 29 touches.
Yeah.
He just tore them apart. So it's like, why would you not tag him when he was getting tagged all game
Yeah, you don't want to give
in
him
Melbourne and you won the game?
You don't want to give him extra confidence to start the game by getting a couple clearances. I think he had 5 touches in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But good move. We didn't mind it.
Yeah, I was
no.
happy with it. It was great.
And as much as I shit-canned him during the week saying he should have belted Aaliyah, Josh Shackey had a good game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He surprised me.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Just bringing it to ground, just not letting Aaliyah take those marks. And Aaron Norton's a beast.
Oh,
He's a
he was
proper-
taking marks everywhere.
He's crazy. Crazy good, that kid. And he's like 21, 22 years
Oh,
old.
jeez. That's a bit scary, to be honest.
10 years of that. And wait till that Jamara Ugle-Hagen kid starts playing like Buddy Franklin like he's supposed to be.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the thoughts on the Bulldogs being unable to train here. What's the story behind this?
So I think the SA government just said, no, you can't train on Adelaide Oval before the prelim.
Yeah. You can come in, but
Yeah,
you're
you
not
can
going
come
anywhere.
in, but you can't train on the Oval. But Port can. So
Yeah. I think they ended up allowing them on the morning of, but
Yeah.
To even be in this situation is a joke to start with.
All this VFL versus AFL kind of thing, it was just more reason for Victorians to laugh at us as a collective. And it's like, I don't have anything to do with those fucking idiots. So don't lump me with them, but it's just, it's more fuel to the fire. So, yeah. Bailey Smith, this year's breakout player in finals.
Yep. He's definitely the player of the final so far.
Lock it in.
Yep. And shout out to the fan wearing a wig.
Get around that guy.
What? I didn't see this.
You didn't see this?
No.
They panned to him like 27 times during the game.
Yeah, he was the only Bulldog supporter.
That's true.
Yeah, the mullet wig and everything. That was great.
I did see there were minimal there, but I mean, this bloke's kicked 7 goals now
Yeah.
in 2 games.
One to basically drag him over the line at the Gabba.
Ridiculous. And this Bulldogs team, I see a lot of similarities to the one that came from outside the 4 a few years ago.
Well, they were outside the 4 as well.
Like
This
Josh Shackey is essentially the Tom Boyd of this year.
Yeah.
Bailey Smith is Clay Smith
That works.
when he
What about Stringer?
tore it up. Nah, drawing blank. But, yeah, no, they've just got... Cody Waitman can be Liam Picken.
That works. Similar haircut, just
yeah,
different colour.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
we'll
works.
go with it.
But, yeah, I think this is going to be this is the best grand final you could have hoped for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Port's not in it.
Yeah.
It's good enough
Oh,
for
yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's the point.
They've been the best 2 teams all year. I know there were form slumps and...
Yeah. Yeah,
Whatever.
Bulldogs towards the end.
And despite Kane Corn saying that they'd cost themselves a premiership after the round 23 loss to Port,
Everything that Kane Corn said is just coming back to bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
yep.
I've got a
Has there
dot
been anything
point.
he said that's been like remotely accurate?
No.
No.
I feel like I'd remember if there was. And the next dot point is something
Because it
that-
would stand out.
Yes. And the next dot point is something that he said. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Bailey Smith not taken in the same draft as Connor Rosie?
Yep.
And I think he was the pick after him?
Yep. Part of the Super 7 or whatever they called it in
Yeah.
that draft, yeah.
Super 7. Oh,
Because Connor Rosie is essentially the best player out of that draft. And he
If you take out Sam Walsh and Bailey Smith, maybe.
yeah,
but-
he just looks mediocre at best. I don't know.
Yeah.
He sat on a bloke's shoulders on Saturday night. That was the only thing he did.
In the last quarter when the game
yeah.
was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Charlie Dixon when he's kicking goals in the 3rd and 4th quarters and he's
God.
putting a finger up
It's
and
like,
he's pumping his
yes.
fist. It's like, mate, don't bother.
I'm pretty sure he said we can still get into this as he kicked his goal with 16 minutes to go and you're down, 80 points or something. Yeah, Charlie. Okay, mate.
Yeah, all right. Let's take off 18 blokes and see how many goals you can kick in 5
Goal a minute. We're
minutes.
still in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Comments from listeners on their thoughts of the game. Now,
Here we go.
we did put it up on Facebook. We just wanted to get thoughts from the listeners because obviously there wasn't much Adelaide content to talk about. And as you can imagine, pretty positive feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just get to the post. Was this video of the pair getting stomped on? Is that the one we're looking for here?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the
The
one.
one from a few years ago that just keeps getting replayed and replayed.
I was going to say, I don't think it's on that photo of Ollie Wines' head when they...
Win a prelim or B square.
yeah.
All right. So we have got... Jason McKay says, best game in the final series by far. Suck shit potatoes and especially Chad's brother.
That's good
Tick.
comment. I like the fact that both these games were shocking prelims. They're supposed to be the best games of the year, basically.
Yeah.
But I wasn't mad about it at all.
I did ask in our Patreon chat halfway through the game what the highest combined prelim margin was since the 2 prelims were introduced.
It was 1995, I think I heard today, so
Yeah.
it got surpassed.
Yeah, it was 151 points or something, and I think it was 154 over the 2 games on the weekend.
Yep.
That cannot happen.
Well, it can you imagine?
Ugh.
We've got Dale who says, in a sea of feral madness, a beam of light and hope stood out. And he's got a photo of himself in his Garden Stakes top here, repping the full cron gear at the front bar of a pub. Get around that.
Good man.
Paul White says, it looks like the Swampies have been drinking a little too much of their own bathwater.
Good point. Oh, just quickly, did anyone see the... what was it called? Like the Power Air or something they promoted before the prelim.
Yes, Paddy Carlisle.
Yes.
And the mob.
Jack Hudson saying, take me to Perth. Is that
Yes.
is that the one?
So they promoted a special trip that didn't include grand final tickets.
Fittingly, because
We'll fly you over there and leave you at the airport.
What
Yeah,
time's
you're
it
on
take
your
off
own.
this week? You just
Yeah.
But you go to the link in that page and it says Air Power will be back in 2022. Thank you for your support.
I think I saw someone on Twitter saying, yeah, I bought this, but it will take the airline like 8 weeks to get a refund.
Oh, painful. Imagine you think you're on your way to a grand final.
Yeah,
you get
that's
it
the
taken
problem
away
right
from
there.
you. And
You
the
think you're on the
airline's
way to
like,
the grand final.
we'll get your money back in December.
Yeah. Not a great attitude from Port, but good to see.
Yeah, good stuff. Les Graham says it was fantastic. Through every Bulldogs celebration and every look of misery on supporter faces, I got butterflies out of pure unbridled spite for 2 amazing hours. 10 more years of Kenny, fingers crossed.
Yes. That deserves a tick cream.
Good stuff. Christy Baynish says, absolutely sensational. I was contemplating moving states if they had won. Thank goodness I don't have to.
Yes.
Brian says, is it raining today or is it all the crocodile tears from the Port supporters?
Crocodile.
Love it.
Jenny says, doesn't pay to have a cocky banner. Always comes back to bite you, and the doggy sure did that.
Yeah, so what was the banner? What did the banner say? It was like a weird virtual one or something?
Yes, it says, the old saying goes, every dog has its day, but tonight belongs to us, then it's off to WA. Nice job, guys.
You can go there if you want. You're
can
just not going to be playing.
You can go on the Power Air if you like. There's
Yeah.
just no grand final celebration.
Go there with the GWS team.
Yeah, try and get an invitation to the Royal Rumble on grand final day.
Yeah.
Cheryl says the Bulldogs just defied the SA Health Directive and went ahead with their training session at the Adelaide Oval instead. Western Bulldogs featuring Adam Treloar 1. Port Adelaide FC featuring the 5-minute fireman 0. Michael says, last night we saw the result of a team that was flattered by a soft draw. Port played Carlton, Collingwood, St Kilda, Adelaide and the Bulldogs twice, which is 4 easy wins. Well, would be 8 because you played them twice. On their end of the season tally. If they played a couple more contenders twice, they would have finished 7th or 8th at best.
Yeah, well,
Correct.
they didn't beat a top 4 team until Geelong,
Yeah,
I think, in the final. So
pretty much. Lachlan says, reckon it would have been a different result if they'd worn the prison bars. Brendan McGarrigan, our loyal Patreon, says there's some history in the making.
yes, never tear them apart, apparently.
Absolutely. We've got, I'll save this for the Dazza and Shazza actually a little bit later on. And Paul Wood lastly said, I came, I saw, I crommed, and it's got a photo of him with some tissues and some lotion around him under his crom blanket.
We
and his
did put that
garden
up on
snakes.
our Instagram, didn't we?
We did.
So a shout out to Paul. That's a good effort.
Very much
Yeah,
so.
had a good night. Well done.
Is that about it?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, well, next up, we have, as Ben touched on, the Port Adelaide version of the Beryls and Cecils, the Dazzers and Shazzers.
Of which there is a plethora.
Oh, plenty.
Work it in.
Great word.
So, I reckon we should all read a couple of these. What post are you going on?
I had the one for full time and the one thanking their supporters for the season.
You want to get some out? We'll all read some. This is going to be
Why
fun.
not?
First things first, Connor Rosie's mum has
no, this
posted a
went well.
comment. Right?
Mum, don't comment on social media
Mum,
again
please.
after a game.
Being booed by so-called supporters during the game and when our players are walking off at the end is unforgivable. Just because someone buys a ticket does not mean they can behave like ferals at a bullfight. This behaviour in any other public place would have the police called. A terrible pack mentality. Win or be lynched?
Come on, Mrs. Rosie. They were the same for the rest of the 23 rounds.
These
Yeah,
people
they
know.
didn't change.
These people know who they are. Shame on you. The look on my son's face walking down the race is something I will never forget. Get a grip and have a good look in the mirror if you are slamming our players and coaches. Well, I hate to break it to you, Mrs. Rosie.
Everyone's going to slam the players and coaches.
It's never going to change. If people pay $600, they think that they can do whatever they want. And barring racism and all that kind of stuff, which we
Yeah,
want
of
to
course.
stamp out, if they want to hang shit on players, they're going to hang shit on players, and that's just the way it is.
Also, I don't think the police are going to be called if you start booing someone in the street.
Yeah, no.
You just look like a bit of an idiot just booing someone in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, standing in the middle of the intersection.
But I was saying boo earns.
Yeah. Okay, you start with a couple comments. Go for it.
All right.
I'll play the Dazza and Shazza music.
I feel like it should be Highway to Hell, shouldn't it? Just a bit different. Shani says, well, she's spitting facts, really. She says, to be honest, we were lucky to get where we did. Won games by minimal margins and not many convincing wins to boot. Sadly, we have too many soft-bellied players who go to water under pressure. I'll always support this club, but we need to install more hardness, a season forward, you mean like Charlie Dixon, and a team attitude like our opponent tonight who wanted the win desperately. Thanks for that one, Shani. Julie says, this was one of my favourites.
Oh.
How dare you play this loss down? We should have won this game, but Port were obviously not mentally prepared by their coach, and the way the club treats their members is despicable.
By their coach, you reckon it's the coach's fault? Well,
not
according to
mentally
him,
prepared.
it was the players were
Perfect preparation.
Yeah, perfectly prepared.
Oh, boy. Leanne says, we were never good enough and the coaching staff are useless. Can't get the team motivated to play from the beginning of the game. It's too late to start playing at three-quarter time. I don't know if they did start playing at three-quarter time, to be honest. Corey says, soft and piss weak. Half the team needs to go along with Hinkley. You can also go social media, dude. Where was the three-quarter time update? You went missing as much as our team did. And I did notice that. They didn't post a quarter time or a three-quarter time update. Do you reckon they might have chosen to do that? Soraya says, so sorry this is how our season has ended. We're still Port Adelaide and nothing, absolutely nothing, will tear us apart.
God, that's brave, isn't it?
Did you watch the game, big fella?
Yeah. Are you sure that's not dated before the game started?
Surely, it has to have been.
Yeah. God, the pianist is going nuts at this.
Loving it.
This one probably gets my favourite one, I think. Reese says, I believe if Mitch Georgiades didn't hit the girl with his car, then he would have been included in the side and we would have gotten the win.
You're joking.
But Ken has no idea about the culture or the game, and it's obvious. Get rid of Ken and Travis. Both are done. Actually, get rid of the whole side. I hate this.
What?
So if one player didn't hit someone with his car, they would have won.
I'm not sure why he would
This
have...
is bad juju, bad karma. That's what he's saying.
No, but he's saying he would have been picked if he didn't hit her. It's not like he got injured from it.
Yes. Yeah, no, she...
It's not like he's the one who got hit.
Yes. No. All right.
Oh, God.
I'll get a couple up. This is from the Facebook group We Are Port Adelaide.
Oh, the one I got banned from.
You're brave to join that one.
If Hinkley cared about this club, he'd hand in his resignation tomorrow morning. Wait, where'd the music go?
Oh, not again.
Let's turn it down.
Play
a
it
bit
again,
this
Sam.
Yeah, jeez.
David Snow. Even the Crows would have put up more of a fight. Well, you're damn right about that
I don't think we lost to the Bulldogs by that much.
one. No.
No, even in Ballarat.
Yeah. It's hard to filter through. We know, Cream. It's hard to filter through.
There's
We
just
are
so many
Port
good
Adelaide.
ones. Maybe you could go to the Twitter page just while you're looking for one there. I just found
Yeah,
another
you got
one.
one.
Bad luck, Kenny and team. You done well to get as far as you did. Big pre-season.
Oh, wholesome. Are you sure that wasn't Elodie?
Yeah. No, this is Elodie's comment. Go Berg boy. If Ken doesn't look interested, why would the players? Waste of a season. Waste of a membership when they can't turn up like that.
How about the one from at We Were Port Adelaide on Twitter?
We were put Adelaide.
Who said, tonight was the culmination of 9 years under Kosh and Hinkley, an era in PAFC's long proud history that will be remembered for heartbreak, humiliation, spin and squander.
Oh.
They aren't Port Adelaide, they never have been, and they never will be. And then a photo of Koshy and Hinkley saying, get out of our club. Very Arsenal-like, I must say.
Oh,
Luke Taylor, I live in Melbourne and I am sick of defending Port Power. I will never ever defend my club until they show me a reason why I should stand up for them. Tonight is easily the worst performance in preliminary history. Maybe if they stop thinking they are all that, believe in the jumper, because here in Melbourne, Port are a laughing stock and I am not defending it anymore.
Was there a comma in there or
No, definitely not.
So he's only defending when there's something to defend.
Yeah.
So he's still supporting them or not? Who knows?
Who knows?
for the time being, maybe?
He's in Melbourne though. It's hard to support him.
Disgusting effort, massive letdown to fans in the club. No game plan, no passion, no heart. Just giant mess of poor, sloppy football.
Well, that's stating the obvious. Yeah. There's too many to go through, isn't
Should be ashamed of that effort. No Port spirit, no guts. Tell me what Port spirit is.
Oh, it's
Define
it's
Port spirit.
called wine, but I don't think they know how to use it.
Yeah. That was absolutely pathetic. You could not have asked for a more perfect preparation and they blew it. Fucking joke.
Yeah, 2 home prelims in a row. That's hard to stuff up.
This one's my favourite.
Oh,
Congratulations, Port Power. You've scored one more point than you did in the 2007 grand final. So there's always a silver lining.
that's a great comment.
Okay.
I'll have just one more.
One more.
One more, why not?
Rosemary said,
Rosemary.
very appropriate
Rosemary.
name, Rosa, says, I'm Port through and through, but was our never tear us apart tonight. Only thing tearing is your fans' hearts. Crap Everett, so disappointed, sad face, sad face, sad face.
Love it.
Love it, love it.
Love it.
Bit of wine from their tears there.
Love all of it.
Oh, God.
Okay, now...
That was a great Saturday night to watch, and it did get topped off in the soccer.
Oh, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, for those who are watching or listening, I'm a Tottenham supporter, and Lleyton is a Crystal Palace man here.
Yes.
And they rolled us 3-0. So
3-0.
congratulations.
Just how good is Ronaldo, actually? I'll just chip in there. I had a nice Saturday night.
Welcome back.
Sunday morning was fantastic.
Speaking of Sunday, we got the SNFL happening as well.
Yep.
That's a segue. That wasn't even planned.
Love it. We had 2 games, I believe. South Adelaide played North Adelaide in an elimination game.
Yeah, it was
with-
North v South and East v West.
Yep, and South Adelaide got up by 43 points, 101 to 58, in a game that was not really close at any stage.
Nah.
Sorry, Damon.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
North-
Damon said in the chat, like, I'm not worried about this loss for North. Good on you to South, yeah. What a weird supporter.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sounds like the
What is it
Ports.
with people these days? They just love sport.
Nah, I can't
like Elodie.
nah.
She
Football
loves
was the
sport
winner.
now.
Yeah.
It just seems like she loves football. Like she has
But
no
she
sense of rivalry anymore.
But she reckons Bont won't finish top 3 in the Brownlow.
If she responds to my question, I'm trying to get her on the phone,
Yeah.
on speaker,
Give her a
to
call.
up our bet.
Go on, do it now.
You know what?
While you get it ringing, I'll just touch on Bryce Gibbs having 29 touches, which is a lovely effort from him.
Yes. Good effort. It's not sounding good.
Hi, this is Elodie. Sorry I missed your call. Just give me a call back later or leave a message. Thanks.
Hey, Elodie, we're just recording on the pod at the minute. I was just calling up to increase our bet on Bontempelli finishing top 3. I'm thinking instead of $300, we might as well make it 400. But I'm just trying to see if you're keen or not. Please let me know. We'll put it up on the socials. Hope to hear from you soon. Okay, bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, fingers crossed she takes the bet.
Yes.
In the other game, it was the Eagles versus the Redlegs. And what was the final score in that one, Ben?
Final score was Woodville West Torrens 8-9-57 to Norwood 7-8-50.
Yeah.
Bit closer.
Close one. Elodie would be happy with that result as well.
Pissing down with the rain through half that game.
Yeah.
That game?
It was raining at some point.
Yeah.
During the double header.
Yes, there was rain.
Richie Douglas had 31 touches and a goal.
Yeah.
Good boy. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. Riley Knight, another good boy, had 28 touches.
Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah. Anything else to report? Not really.
A few former Crows in Stengel and Menzel kicked 3 and 2 goals.
Yeah, there was Grigg, there was Wig, there was all sorts of former Crows.
Yeah.
Plenty of them floating around.
Yeah, so with Eagles winning, they go and play the Bays.
Up the Bays.
Up the base.
I believe there's 2 games this weekend.
Yes.
So
There's 3 actually.
Is there?
There's the under-18s grand final, which is also Bays versus Eagles.
Are they still undefeated?
Ooh.
And then the semi-final, we've got South, who won against North.
Yep.
They will play
Norwood.
Norwood, who lost against Eagles, and if they win, they play the loser of
Yep. So I think that game is
Glenelg Eagles
at 3:15
Yep.
on Saturday at Adelaide Oval.
And then
you
there's the
can
Saturday night game.
Glenelg,
Yeah.
Glenelg versus the Eagles from 7:15 on Saturday night at Adelaide Oval. I know I'll be at both games.
Yes.
So if you can get down and watch some footy, obviously all the amateur league around the state wrapped up
Yep.
on Saturday just gone. So firstly, congratulations to all of those that won flags. Commiserations to all of those that didn't.
And
But-
congratulations to the bungee medal winners
Yes.
across the divisions.
Correct.
So have you got a medal? Did you have to present it yourself?
No.
Or what
No.
happened?
No, I don't know. I think it got lost in transit.
Lost in transit.
It's laying on a gutter on Fullerton Road or something. I don't know. But yeah, no. Make sure you get out and support local footy. It'll be good to see as many people there as possible. And
I think tickets are like as cheap as like $15 or something.
Yeah.
Kids under 18 free. So
bargain. Get
just-
on down.
Just looking at the reserves as well, that's Glenelg against the Eagles as well.
yeah.
And that's at ACH Group Stadium, which is the old
That's
Glenelg.
Melbourne. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
Glenelg. Yep. Up the base.
Up the base.
Just because they lost against Port. We needed the loss.
Yes. Well overdue. We'd rather get that out of the way and then just run through the finals. Now let's have a moment of silence for Nathan Jones.
Yes.
Ben and I, we were saying that
Yeah,
he should have
sub.
been Medi-sub for the
Yeah.
grand final. And who knows how close he actually was to selection. But
I think
the team, I don't think,
Yeah.
would have changed.
Nah.
I think he was there to support the boys, and I reckon he was told if there was an injury, you're in next
Yeah.
for like a midfielder player. And then as soon as he finished and there was no major injuries other than, was it Stephen May with a hamstring?
Yeah, but he says
That
he's
was the only
playing.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah, pro play in the GF. So yeah, I reckon after that he goes straight home to the missus to
She's given birth to twins.
twins. So
Yeah. So obviously he'll go back and be there, and he'll probably have to quarantine even if he was to go back. So he won't be able to
Yeah.
play in the grand final. But
do you reckon it's his last year?
yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows if they'll do the Bob Murphy. I don't think he would be selfish enough to put himself up on the podium if they won it.
No,
How's he going to do it from Melbourne?
Yeah.
Just put it on the screen.
He's going to break out of quarantine and run onto the oval.
Run across the Nullarbor.
Yeah.
WWE style again. He's coming from the change room.
It's the Royal Rumble. Going to be GWS Port Adelaide there as well. And Nathan Jones.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, he just comes running through
He's
them.
holding the baby.
Yeah.
Just
Holding
Like
the
it-
twins.
Yeah, like he's running out of a burning house fire. But here is a 5-second moment of silence for Nathan Jones and all
He's
you.
not died, has he?
No, but just like a moment of appreciation for
Okay,
him and
okay.
all that he has done in 5. Well done, Nathan Jones.
Yes, well done. I thought you were going to
Definitely.
count down 5, 2,
Well, see,
1.
then there wouldn't be
There's
5 full seconds of silence. So I was like, no.
There's 10 seconds of silence, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, well done, Jones. Well done.
Brownlow preview. Obviously, the Brownlow is coming up this Sunday night.
So, another advantage is if you sign up as a patron, you get to come to the end of season party we're having with the Project.
You bet your biscuit. We've hired a function room out for this Sunday. I think we're all just going to catch up, have a beer, watch a Brownlow, dig into a palmy, whatever, and just talk a whole bunch of shit, just what we're good at. So if you want to come along to that, let us know. And we're looking forward to having a good night. I'm looking forward to winning a lot of money. Elodie, call me back. Now let's get tips and thoughts. Obviously the others can't be here, but we'll go around the three of us. Give us your 3, 2, 1. Sorry, first, second, third. Ben.
I think we will have Steele coming third,
Yeah, good call.
Wines coming second, and the Bont to take it out.
Okay.
I reckon it's going to be Bont taking it out, and then second and third is going to be either. I reckon I'll go Oliver second, Petrarca third. I reckon it's going to be 2 Melbourne players on the podium.
I'm going to go Wines.
Wines winning it.
Yeah. Wines will win, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
Wines, and I think what'll kill him, what'll kill Bontempelli is the fact that they played each other in that game in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Bulldogs at the end of the year.
His
and
last 3 rounds are...
Yeah, and Wines should poll 3 for that game, and because Bulldogs ruckman went down, Bontempelli was ineffective, he probably won't poll. So that's a 6-vote swing. So Wines first, Bontempelli second.
What happens if Bont finishes equal third? What happens to the bet then?
That's in the third.
Yeah,
That's-
it counts.
Equal third with like 10 players
What happens
on 25
if,
votes.
See, we should have put things in. What happens if Tuke Miller finishes third, but he's ineligible, which means that it bumps Bontempelli up from fourth to third?
Which isn't out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah,
Is that technically third, or is that...
I'm claiming it. Claiming it. But
in
I
the
do
same way that if he won and Bontempelli came second, it would still be Bontempelli's medal. So I'll back that.
So I think it'll be Wines, Bontempelli, and
Someone else.
Oliver. Yeah, with Miller fourth, but unable to claim it.
So most of the winners are going to be over in Perth. So
Yeah.
Yes.
pretty much.
Yeah. Next up, grand final preview. Tips and thoughts. You already know mine. I think Bulldogs win by 10 points over Melbourne.
Norm Smith.
Thought about this today.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Not
You gonna share your thoughts?
Yeah. It's not often I put some thought into things, but here we go.
Play the Creamy's Call music. If you can find it.
Now, I do like me a roughie. I do.
Is
remember-
Ruffy going to win it?
No, I do remember actually getting on Jason Johannesson at 34-1 when he won it a few years ago.
Well done.
That was a good $20 investment. But I think your value for money this time around
All right, this
will be
isn't- this
Jack
is-
Viney.
You don't have to say
not
value
bad.
for money. It's not a sports bet ad.
Well, it is.
You're not Nathan Brown.
Yeah, value for money will be Jack Viney.
How about the horses? What about the horses this weekend? How do you think?
I
they'll
haven't
go?
had a look yet. I'll keep you
Markets
posted.
aren't out yet, we can't have a look at it yet.
Value for money will be Jack Viney. But if I had to pick, I would say Adam Treloar.
You sound confident in that one.
Yeah.
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 Ben?
I'm going to go the doggies in a tight one as well.
Oh.
I'll say 5 points. Because it'd just be real typical for Melbourne to be heartbroken just like that.
Can you imagine?
I could.
Yeah, we can imagine.
Yep.
And I think Norm Smith goes to Cody Waitman.
Oh.
Come back from his concussion and kick a couple, I reckon.
That's brave.
Interesting.
Different. Speaking of value for money, he'll be up in the odds.
I can actually see that. Same with if Melbourne win it and Cozzy Pickett,
Yeah.
like Byron, manages to jag one.
You have to kick a lot of goals to win the Norm Smith, though, surely.
4?
Depends how high scoring it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
All right. It's the last game of the year.
You can't sit on the fence for this one. Give us one outright tip, for God's sake.
All right. I reckon it'll be a draw, and then extra time.
Who's going to win it?
Is it extra time or is it golden point or something?
I don't know.
I think it's extra
Do
time.
they still
It's
come
extra
back the
time.
next week?
No, not
no.
anymore.
Okay.
Not after 2010. So
That was a good year.
it'll be a draw and then extra time, and then Melbourne win it.
Okay.
Just get my multi-builder.
Yeah. And Norm Smith, maybe. Yeah, Oliver again.
Okay.
Why not?
And while we're talking about Norm Smith, this leads in perfectly to what I was saying before. Brian Lake has posted during the week about after Friday night's game. He said, "Somebody please start a petition to get Neil Danaher over there to present the cup."
Oh,
That would be huge.
That
So I
would
think
be huge.
They've got Worsfold at the moment, don't they?
Yeah,
and Embley for
Worsfold
Norm
and-
Smith.
No, not Worsfold. Djakovic.
Yeah,
Djakovic
yeah.
and Embley,
Djakovic and
that's
Andrew
right.
Embley. It's like, no.
makes sense.
Fucking Andrew
Like, I
Embley.
understand.
Both in WA, you can't really do much
I
about
understand they're in WA, but who gives a fuck about them? Who cares?
it. They're just the ambassador. Doesn't mean you have to give them the cup. I think isn't it? They have two different ones for whoever wins, like sort of team based.
I don't know how
cup
it works.
presenters.
No, because I think Andrew McLeod presented the Norm Smith to
Yeah,
Dusty
but that's the Norm
when,
Smith.
Yeah, true.
What about presenting? Anyway,
Just
get him over there.
Just get Neil Danaher over there.
in a
He's-
Crom beanie.
He's done enough
Or
for
a
the
fire
league.
and
Like,
beanie if you want.
What better way to raise more money for MND than getting him to wear a fight MND beanie while he is presenting the cup?
We
You know
can
what?
picture it now.
If Melbourne win, put their medals on and put a fight MND beanie on all of them
On all of them.
on the podium.
That's
not bad.
that's what you give to the little kids, the Auskit kids, as they come
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah, instead of giving them a little hat, give
Yeah.
them a fight MND beanie.
Perfect.
See, if they get him over there, I'll change my tip because
Yeah.
you just couldn't watch him hand it to the Bulldogs, could you?
No.
Just chuck it to him. Yeah, whatever.
He
Yeah,
would
just have it.
lose his mind. He'd just drop it
Yeah.
when they get within 3 metres. Here you go, whoop.
No, you can't have it. No.
Yeah, no. And that's about it, I reckon. I don't know how we've managed to waffle on for an hour.
Yes. It's just been a great weekend, really.
It has been.
It has been.
But before we go, I have been told we're doing something Wednesday night.
Yeah,
with the press box.
tune into the press box
Thursday
Thursday morning, I
comes
guess.
out,
Yeah. Make sure to check them out. There might be some special guests that aren't featuring tonight.
Massive shout out to our friends there. Just a reminder, we are doing the City to Bay with them in an effort to raise money for childhood cancer. If you do want to donate, and we strongly recommend you do to get around a great cause, please head to their GoFundMe page organised by Jace Kemp called Walk the Walk, Now Talk the Talk. Shout out to our sponsors on the way out in Payne Med SA and Trojan Aluminium.
Definitely.
And thank you to our Patreon supporters as always. Just a reminder, we didn't do this before. Just a reminder, you can win yourself a Go Crom hoodie if you do leave us a 5-star review. Have you guys got the reviews?
No,
Handy?
we'll
No.
Yeah, we'll read them out next
Yeah,
week.
we'll read them out
They're in
next
the
week.
chat somewhere.
Yeah, but please keep sending them in. Well, someone's going to win a hoodie. And thank you very much to whoever said they took their parents' phone just to send theirs in. Apart from that, anything else?
No, all good from me.
Yeah, all good for me.
All right. All good from all of us. Have a good week. Enjoy the weekend off of AFL. Please make sure you get down and support the SANFL at Adelaide Oval on Saturday. And we will talk to you again next week ahead of what will be a massive grand final. And even though they're not in it, go Crom.
Go Crom.
Go Crom.